3, 2.
And we're going. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, whatever you're doing, whatever day of the week, whatever time, whatever piece of furniture you're sitting down in, maybe you're in your car. Welcome back to the High Button podcast. We're in the mid, not even the middle. We just started summer. Someone told me yesterday that summer has begun. I woke up at 5:30. The sun was beaming through the blinds. And I didn't get to bed last night until probably 9:30, 10 because the sun was still up. It's hard to sleep when the sun is up, but that is a sign of good weather and good times, as I like to say. Golf season. Or sorry, Jeff, how are you? I shouldn't just
Doing good.
Good to see you. Sorry, Jeff.
Yes. Good to be here. Good to be back.
How's the summer job going?
It's good. It's good. Yeah. One day at a time. Ready to go on vacation though.
You're going to Toronto?
Going to Toronto for a wedding. Yep.
Love is in the air.
Yeah. Jays game. Stopping in Quebec City for a little solo night. So
Nice.
Up to Toronto. Do you think you could drive to Toronto on your own? 17 hours?
No.
I'll let you know how it goes.
Yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
All right. Can I go now?
Yeah. You have at her.
What was I saying?
Golf.
You hear of people that have addictions. I never really got into, drugs. I never, alcohol is alcohol. I never really became addicted to it. But this is the first time in my life where I have an actual addiction. And joining the 7-step golf program, the first step is admitting. And I'm ready to admit that today, that I do have a golf addiction. And there'll be some days where I don't even really want to golf, but I just go anyways just to scratch that itch, just to get it out of my system. I'll call my buddies up and say, hey, guys, do you want to go golfing? But really, I'm calling them to say, hey, let's go score. Let's go get another itch. Let's go scratch that itch.
Let's go score.
So the first step is admitting, and we'll see what happens from here. There is a program that you can enter yourself into. I'm not willing to put myself into that program yet, but I am willing to admit I am an addictive golfer. Like most of the people out there who golf, it's a very expensive sport. It's a very addicting, what do you call it? It's an addictive drug. There's more drugs out there that are probably more addicting, but golf is up there when it comes to a drug. It's up there. It's very addictive. So I'll have to work something out and see what goes from there. But I'm having a great time. If you're going to spend money on something, there's lots worse things that you can spend time on. At least you're out there.
Yeah, that was my next question. Usually addiction you're trying to fix. Are you really trying to fix this addiction, or are you just kind of, seeing where the wind blows you? I mean, you seem to enjoy it, right?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. When you look around and you see other people that are addicted to the game, you all of a sudden don't feel so bad. That's how I feel maybe a crack addict feels. It's like he's doing it, but he sees some other guys doing it too. It's like, oh, it's not that bad. The other guys over there are doing it. So I guess it's okay.
Oh, yeah.
So when I roll up to Brunello and I see everyone, scratching their itch, just trying to get that little golf itch out.
Yeah.
We're all the same. We're the same people. We're out there and we're enjoying the addiction, and that's all I can say about that.
It's kind of like when you, in school, when you get a bad test, but all your friends get a bad test too. So you're like, all right, we're all kind of on this boat together. Like, let's go tell our parents I failed, but so did 70% of the class. Fudge those numbers a bit. Mm-hmm. Same thing, right? You're all on this boat together.
And it's interesting. Sometimes I'll be playing 18, and I'll be playing with my buddy who I play with is Jasper. Shout out to Jasper. Me and him we're the addicts together, and if you've never played golf before, it's usually a foursome. So if you count myself and Jasper, that's just a twosome. So you'll randomly just get paired with two other people. And these other two random people, sometimes they can be addicts too. And they can be so frustrated by the ninth hole, they get up and they walk off and they leave. Whether it's the sun, whether it's their score, whether it's their wife calling from home. There's many different factors that can make you get up and walk away from a green. Yesterday I played with a gentleman. I'm not going to say his name for obvious reasons. He's probably hiding, but he left because of the heat. It was too hot for him. He couldn't handle. I'm not going to say what his score was. Maybe that had something to do. But as soon as we hit the ninth, he shook our hand. He said, "Good day, gentlemen. I'll see you later." Addicted. He's addicted. But this is the gamble we play when we get involved with sports, or excuse me, with golf. So I'm just going to say that for a clear head to the kids out there that are thinking about getting involved with golf. I was once you. I thought I had a bright future, the whole shebang, everything, the wife, the kids, the dog, the picket fence. I thought that's where I was going until I discovered the 4-letter word, golf. What does it say? Golf, get out, leave family, golf.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what it is. Jerry Seinfeld
That's
said
pretty
that
good.
a couple years ago. Get out, leave family, golf. So that, I thought I was headed to the promised land, and obviously I'm not headed there. Maybe one day, but as of right now, I need to get out of this thing that they call the golf life.
Really? You're ready to get out?
No, but
No. Okay.
it makes me feel better.
Right. We're just chatting.
It makes me feel better that I'm admitting it, because that's the first step.
Yeah.
Is admitting. So I'm admitting, but that doesn't mean I have to stop playing.
No.
Because they say the first step's just admitting. Okay, great. Doesn't the second step isn't quitting?
No one ever knows the second step.
No, it's just admitting. So I'm admitting.
Did you play today?
Yeah, I just got back.
Okay. Yeah.
Played awful.
How'd you do? Oh, awful.
I played terrible. The heat was getting me.
Oh, yeah.
I think I shot like a 45 on the front, 45 on. I remember at the end. I wasn't. It was just so hot. I don't know if anyone's ever seen me. I guess we're recording this, but I'm paled skin, so that means I have to wear a lot of sunscreen. And when you put a lot of sunscreen on, that means your hands are getting oiled. And when you're swinging a club and your hands are oily, that means you're slipping out of your grip. I'm not using that as an excuse, but I kind of am. So there's a lot of oils, there's a lot of lotions, there's a lot of, I'm drinking out of a water bottle, so when it's
Condensation.
hot out, condensation, there's
Yep.
water on the bottle. That's another excuse.
How do they expect you to play, really?
Yeah. And, there's a couple pin placements out there, that weren't, let's just say the groundskeeper didn't wake up and have a great day. There was a couple pin placements that could have been a bit better. But yeah, it wasn't a great morning. I'll tell you that. Even though, I'm golf. Everyone's listening going, Justin, you're golfing Thursday, 10 a.m. It's 30 degrees out. What do you want from am I looking for sympathy? No. But what I am telling you is that I am addicted. And you should feel bad for me because I have an addiction, and I'm trying to become a better person because of it.
For the first time in your life, you're addicted to something fully. You were never addicted to hockey, or
Yeah, but that was a healthy
lacrosse.
addiction. Yeah, that's a healthy addiction, because hockey's only 2 hours, golf's only 2 hours. Golf's 4 hours.
Yeah.
And then you went, and if you think about it, golf an hour before, you're on
Yeah.
YouTube looking at, I remember I woke up this morning and I was looking at Brunello's drone. I've played the course, a million times, but I'm still waking up looking at the drone footage of what the course looks like.
Oh my god, man. What and that leads to the question, what does your fiance think of this? Is she even acknowledging your addiction, or is it kind of just on the DL between the boys here and everyone at home?
No, she's very aware of it, but that's part of the reason why I love her, is because she lets me golf. And, but she's cool with it as long as I get the dishes done and laundry, the house is clean, and make money.
Yeah.
That's,
Yeah.
So no, she's great with it, but you got to pick the right one. That's for sure. If you're, you hear a lot of, that's another thing about golf. When you're out there on the course with these guys and you hear about their problems, not necessarily with their wife, but you hear about problems they have maybe in their life. You hear about problems maybe they have at work, maybe at home, maybe with their kids, yada, yada. You come home and you realize maybe how not great your life is, but oh man, my problems all of a sudden aren't so big. So that's one positive thing about golf. When you hear other people's problems, you come home, you go, maybe I don't have it so bad.
Makes you more appreciative,
Yes.
Opens your eyes up a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so there's something.
There you
Maybe I'm
go.
not. Maybe golf is a good thing.
Yeah. Sign on for another year. You're all right.
Yeah. I got paired with a guy today who's I wouldn't call him a fan of the show, but he's listened to a couple podcasts. It was cool. He's a nice guy. Course was running great today. Hit a couple nice shots. Didn't make any putts. hit the ball well off the tee, duffed a couple,
Mm-hmm.
and that's about it. So I am addicted. I've admitted it, and we'll go with that. I'm still gonna golf. I'm not gonna quit, but I've admitted, and we'll roll with that and see what happens.
Are you playing in any tournaments this year, or like
Yeah, we are.
invitationals? Right. Yeah.
So
that's what I thought.
I've already put. So you, me, Dudes, and Mark are playing in the Junior B Penguins golf charity tournament at Fox Hollow.
Right.
And then I'm playing at Penn Hills with Dudes. I think Wig and I think Campbell at Penn Hills for the Halifax Max golf tournament.
That's coming up, isn't it?
I think it's in July at some point. Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's coming up pretty soon.
Yep.
Ooh, I should make sure we're not nanniganish.
Yeah, I think we're okay because you've had that in the calendar for a while, but I think it is early July.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I will say this. Going back to the golf, maybe you think people are sick of the golf, or should I keep going?
That's a good question.
The way I'll look at it is that other people are addicted to golf, so maybe other people want to listen to golf.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone loves golf.
It's golf.
Yeah.
What do you want, What?
Nothing.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought, no, it's golf.
Yeah.
Networking opportunities.
Mm-hmm.
Holy smokes. A lot of retired individuals out there. They want to know what I do for a living. The opportunities, I never thought of this, but with guys who are retired, there's a good amount. Because a lot of these guys have sons, and a lot of these guys have connections, because, most of them are, 70, upper 60s, whatever it may be. A lot of these guys have connections to people that are in line with our business. So that's another positive that comes from golf, is networking with strangers. I've always said this, if you're trying to work on your people skills, go golfing alone. Obviously, me and Jasper get out a lot. I'm very fortunate for that. He just has a baby, a 1-year-old, so there's times where he can't get out as much as I'd like him to get out, which forces me to go out alone. And I know now you're thinking, oh, Justin, you're that guy that goes out alone. No. You guys have it all wrong. Going out by yourself makes you work on yourself. You have to be able to have a conversation. I just got a text, sorry. You have to be able to have a conversation with a stranger and be able to not hype yourself up, but just network a bit. How you doing? Where are you from? Oh, you're from
Hold your
Newfoundland?
own.
Hold your own. It gains a little bit more confidence in your ability to be alone in this world. And if you're not comfortable being alone in this world, what are you doing? You have to be able to sit at a table by yourself, not look at your phone, and just be comfortable. And that's another positive that golf has given me. I've been able to go out by myself and just shoot the shit with some strangers. It's kind of cool.
Yeah. That's I wish I could say the same. I wish I could say the same. Yeah. No, that's good.
So that's another positive.
Yeah. That's
pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You just got to talk it out sometimes here. Right?
Yeah, well, it's a podcast.
Yeah.
I don't know if I really want to talk about it's the Titanic, the submarine. That's a tough one.
It is.
That's what we had next on the docket, but now that I'm looking at it,
yeah,
it's an awful way to go. But all I'll say is, the individuals that go on to that submarine have to know that what they're getting themselves involved with. No, you have to know that there's a slight chance that you might not resurface. Obviously, going on, you're hoping for the best. You're gonna pull up. You're gonna be fine, but there has to be a part of you that's willing to risk your life to go down there, and that it's a tough one.
Yeah. How are you with water? I don't even know if we've ever been around or swam together or done anything like that. Of all this stuff we've done, are you a water guy, an ocean guy?
I am. It's just, what my dad did for a living. He's a diver.
Right.
So you'd think naturally water was fine with me. I'm not scared of it or anything, but I had an accident when I was a kid where I ruptured my eardrum, and I wasn't able to go more than 5 feet underwater without water rushing into my ear.
Ooh.
So at an early age, I knew I couldn't follow my dad's footsteps. Couldn't be a diver. Couldn't go more than 5 feet. 5 feet might be pushing it. It could be 3 feet. I haven't tested it. I haven't tested it in years. But water doesn't scare me. But no, I can't go deep. I can't go. I can't go any further than 3, 4, 5 feet. The individuals who went on to that submarine, billionaires, people that have traveled to space. One guy was on there with Jeff Bezos up in space, like his company, like a year ago, something like that. So you have to think about the guys that are going under there, ambitious, ready to explore.
Titanic. That's what they were doing, right? They're going to the Titanic.
Someone said that more people have been to space than have gone down and looked at the Titanic. Like it's more of an accomplishment than going to space. Think about that.
That's nuts,
You know,
man.
more people have been up into outer space than have gone down into a submarine to look at the Titanic.
Something that's on this earth is less attainable than leaving like our stratosphere.
Isn't that
That is
interesting?
that's crazy. Yeah.
Excuse me. The thing that gets me is the excitement towards it. I don't get the excitement. Same with going to space. Same with, climbing a mountain, looking at it. There's certain elements that people have excitement in this life that I just don't have, and I've always wondered that. Same with like going to the beach and like looking at water, and like there's tons of people that get excitement from this. I don't, and it's frustrating. I wish I had an excitement for this adventure type of stuff.
Yeah.
And I don't.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
I wonder how many people are like you. Like, just like you have no desire to like push yourself, climb Mount Everest one day, do something, bungee jump off a a bridge out of a helicopter. None of that like gives you any excitement or like anything like that.
No, it doesn't. And it's weird. I wish, because when I look at other people that have the excitement towards climbing Mount Everest, I'm jealous of that excitement.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't have it. My excitement is, Game 5 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals and working to be able to afford a ticket to go. Like, that's my Mount Everest. Just, doing these little things in life that allow you to kind of forget about the real world. When you're climbing Mount Everest, you're not thinking about the mortgage and your car payment. You're thinking about the top of Mount Everest. When I go to Game 5 of the NBA Eastern Conference Finals, I'm not thinking about anything but just enjoying myself. That's my
True.
I just like working towards little thrills, if that makes sense.
Yeah. What like does your adrenaline get fired up? Like, when was the last time you really had like an adrenaline dump or an adrenaline rush? Like, because that's usually what people seek when they do those crazy things. They want that moment at the top where it's like you're like literally on top of the world in your mind, and not like you're floating like outside.
I don't know. I don't have that. I don't have adrenaline rushes. I just see, here's the way life works. I'll tell you right now. This is the way my life works. A lot of people are looking, I shouldn't say a lot, but there's people out there that are looking for those highs, and then maybe don't think a low time is coming. And then they look for a high, and then they may know a low time is coming. There's people that look for thrills every weekend. There's some people that look for a thrill on the weekend when they just go out for a couple drinks. They can't wait for Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the weekend. Boom, they can't wait for that thrill. There's people that climb Mount Everest. There's people that go look at the Titanic. There's people that do Game 5 NBA Finals, whatever it may be. There's people that look for thrills, but over these past 7 years of the company, it's taught me a lot in terms of ups and downs. Whenever you're good, whenever you get like a big advertisement deal, wicked, I used to be really excited. But now I understand that in a week, a day, 3 days, there's going to be a moment where I'm like, oh, for God's sakes, Justin, you got to do this. You forgot to. And there's going to be a low moment. And then maybe a couple weeks later, there'll be a high moment where it's like, oh, great, we got this. We got Jonathan Torrens on the podcast. Let's go. This is the best day ever.
Yeah.
Like that, And then I'll be like, oh, yeah, this happened. I got to figure.
Yeah.
So I understand these highs and lows, and I don't live my life like that anymore. So when anything happens good, when anything happens bad, I'm just coasting along, baby. I'm not trying to do too much. I'm not trying to do too little. I'm just trying to be a skateboarder on a flat road. I'm just trying to push along and enjoy this ride, what they like to call life, L-I-F-E.
Yeah.
I'm not looking for highs, not looking for lows. I'm just trying to maintain, have a smile on my face, and love the people around me. That's all there is to it to me.
Yeah, I do envy you sometimes. I think about this because, like, obviously we spend a lot of time together, and you talk about, especially with money and all those things where you don't really get shaken up. And to your skateboarding reference, just because you're on that flat road doesn't mean you're not getting excited about things or anything. It's just like in our line of work, you just keep it moving. Like, that Boston trip, we anticipated, we went on it, it went great, awesome. We're a month out from that trip, and it's like it's kind of a distant memory. It's kind
Yeah.
of on to the next thing, you know what I mean? So it's just like it's a slow kind of ingraining in your mind where it's just like these good things will happen, but you just keep it moving, man. And it's I find this past year kind of like I try to look to what you do in that sense. And there's times, especially when it comes to all the money and stuff, where I say, there'll always be that next opportunity. And it's been an adjustment, but I think getting there. It's interesting to hear you talk about it, though. Still.
You're at a fragile age when it comes to money because now you're starting to pay rent. Now you're starting to do all this stuff on your own, and I've been there, and it's not fun, but you have to look at everything as a learning experience. Being dollar to dollar, penny to penny, whatever it may be, it's not a fun time in life. But just know that. What was the problem you had the other day? Like you lost a jacket or something?
Yeah.
So where's your head at right now? What about that?
My head is literally after this podcast. I have to go to Mac, buy $160 jacket because I made a mistake and lost a buddies.
Okay, so your problem solved.
Yeah,
So look at yourself
I
2
can
weeks
afford
ago.
to solve those problems, but yeah,
But you know what I mean? You 2 weeks ago, you were here in the dumps. You're like, oh man, I lost my buddy's jacket. My life's over. Now look at you. I mean, I got to go
Yeah.
buy one, but everything's fine.
Yeah.
So it's like those moments you just learn to forget about because the older you get, the more you have these moments of lows and highs and yada and yada. And then you just realize that none of this makes sense. You just have to stay even keel because at the end of the day, good things are going to happen, bad things are going to happen, but you got to keep moving. That's how you look at it.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely been an adjustment, man. I keep using this quote. Like, I think probably a lot of people can relate to it. Just like when you move out when you're in university or that first time around, it was a lot different when you could rely on student loans and the fallback of, oh, I'm in university. I don't gotta work my ass off to do these things. You don't have the bills. Moving out once you're a full-fledged adult with a full-time job, trying to pay the bills, it's been a I've learned a lot in the last 2 months. Let's just put it like that. But that's what I just tell myself. You say, learn a lot, you keep it moving. It's nothing to complain about, but it's interesting. It's been a very eye-opening couple months for me.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Summer jobs. That's where you build.
Yeah.
That's where I built character. Like, just talking about Brunello. You see these kids that are, out of high school, second year, basically what you're doing, just out of university, and they're shoveling horse shit on the, onto the fairway there and then laying sod over it, whatever it may be. And you see them and it's 30 degrees and they're just grinding. And I'm there sipping a pina colada, sitting in the cart, chipping a pitching wedge onto the green. And the way I'm able to appreciate me sipping on a pina colada, sit in the cart, chipping on my pitching wedge on par 3, that could be a song. And I look at that and I don't feel bad is because I went through it. And I know that whatever that kid is doing right now, he's building character. At the time when you're doing it, you don't realize you're building character. You just think my life sucks, my job sucks, it's hot, I don't have any sunscreen, I'm going to get a burn. You're thinking all these things. I'm not going to look good for the bar. I'm going to look like a tomato.
My friends are at the beach right now and I'm stuck here.
You're thinking all these things. But at the end of the day, you are building so much character, you do not even know it. And that's what makes me happy because I went through it and I know that those kids that are working at Brunello, working on the greens, they're going to come out of whatever the hell they're doing. They're going to come out good men. They're going to, even the cart girls, sure, you girls are working. You're going to come out great women. You're going out there, you're hustling and you're working. In that heat, it's not fun, it's not easy, but they will be better off for it. And it's nice to see, for sure.
What about the guys at the garden center trying to learn how to load trees onto trucks? Do you have any feelings about those guys?
Who?
The guys at the garden center learning how to drive tractors and move $1,000 trees.
I don't know.
Sympathy for them?
Oh, was that you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. Do you guys? Yeah. Are you building character?
I guess so. Yeah.
Summer
Getting the hands dirty. I'm getting the hands dirty. You know, we don't get our hands we don't get our hands dirty that much with the winter job. You know, in a different sense we do, but it's just blue collar work, man. Like you said.
Sometimes, like, I remember when I was younger, I'd be like, man, I wish I grew up rich and I had all this. You know, you had friends that were just rich and they had, you know, they're driving these nice cars at high school, and you know, it's all fun and dandy back then, but thank God I didn't have that type of privilege. I'm very proud of my work ethic. I'm very proud of how I maneuver my way through this life and get what I want. And I think if I grew up with everything handed to me, it'd be a tough go right now. I don't know where I'd be. You know, my parents cut me off at a certain age and it was awful. You know, couldn't even get $5 for us, you know, just nothing. Just they cut me off cold turkey. They go, look, we'll give you a house. Well, you can live here. We'll feed you 3 days out of the week, 3 times out of the day.
Yeah.
So what's 3 times 5?
3 times 5, 15.
No, how many days in the week?
7, 21.
So there's 20. I'll give you 21 meals a week. That's a good amount. And that's it. So, like, you know, no, nothing. And I remember that put a lot of tension between me and my parents.
Did they ask you to pay rent?
They did at one point. It got to the age where I hit, like, I don't know what it was, 24, 25, and I was still at home, and like that awkward rent conversation came up.
Yeah.
And I was just like, fuck, if I'm paying rent, I'm not doing it here. So that just is that what happened to you?
Yeah. It's definitely, you understand, but it's just a tough thing to wrap your head around.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, time one way or the other, time to get out when you're hearing that.
And full circle back to the golf thing. That's another enjoyable factor that I can golf on a Wednesday at 2:00. It's because I know I've worked my bag off throughout the winter. I've earned this right to be able to golf at Wednesday at 2:00. I know I can be doing other things. I know that I could still be working towards high button sports, but I know as soon as September hits, I'm going to be one of the most busiest individuals east of Montreal. So I've earned this right. And that gives me a little bit more satisfaction towards my addiction, even though I've admitted it already. So it's fine with them. I'm good with that. But yeah, summer jobs are crazy. I'll go over I'll never forget it, the hardest day of work I've ever done. It was July 20th, 2009. No, not even.
Pre-COVID? Because that's 2019.
No, this is not even. This is like a year out of high school. So what am I saying? 2000, maybe 14, something like that. Hardest day of work of my life. I'm working for a landscaping company, and it might have been my second, third day there. And I knew the boss, the guy who owned the company. He was friends of my mom, and I think my mom helped me with the job. I got it. And it was like my second day. The first day, I didn't really do anything, mowed a couple lawns, yada, yada. But I think the owner of the company wanted to see my work ethic. And he paired me with just another guy. And he was a vet. He's been in this landscaping company for years and years and years. So you got to think of this guy as almost like a little spy. He had to see how my work ethic was. He was going to report back to the boss, and he'd be like, okay, Justin can work, or Justin can't work. He's a piece of shit, yada, yada.
Did you realize this at the time, or is this like took a few years? Okay.
No, I didn't realize at the time.
Okay.
But now being a business owner, I get it. I completely get it. Because the first day, I'm just mowing lawns. Maybe I didn't do a good job the first day. I don't know. So I remember showing up the second day. I'm like, oh man, this job's not bad. You mow a couple lawns in the suburb, roll the sleeves up, get a little tan. Not that I was overly working. I just, it was a day of work, first day. You can't expect too much from me. So I get there the second day, and raining. Hard rain. And I get there, and I'm looking at the truck I was on yesterday. I'm like, oh, perfect. I'll just hop in that truck. The mowers are already good to go. I'll go to I'll mow, even though it's raining. I don't know if you mow in the rain, but whatever. I'll do whatever anyone tells me to do. So I just hop in the truck, waiting for my partner, and the owner, I don't know who came over to me. He goes, Justin, no, you're not mowing today. You're going with Daryl. I don't know the guy's name. You're going with Daryl. You guys are just gonna go down to a house and do do this, whatever, lay sod. I'm like, okay, yeah, sounds good. So I head over to Daryl's truck. Me and him chit-chatting. Great guy, really nice guy. Piss pouring rain. And in my head, I'm going, oh, we must just be going home where it's raining. Yeah. And as we are driving, he's on the phone with the owner. And they're essentially going, yeah, all the mowers are going home. It's raining, whatever it is. So just letting you know, no one's really on call today. That's it. It's over. So I'm all happy. I'm like, great. It's 7 a.m. I'm going home.
You're right. You're planning your day in your head at
Planning my
that
day.
point. Yeah, classic.
And it's like a 20-minute drive
Yeah.
out to maybe Lower Sackville, like a newer subdivision.
Yeah.
And I'm a little worried because he's not turning the car around. We get to this beautiful, beautiful home where you could tell it's fresh sod, but it's getting a little longer. I'm like, okay, maybe we're just mowing a lawn. I don't understand. What are we doing here? Because there's no mowers on the truck.
And it's still piss
pouring rain.
Yeah.
There's really there's no equipment in the truck. We get to this place, and all of a sudden I look on the back lawn, which is right down kind of by the water, and it's a wood chipper. And I'm like, okay, what's the wood chipper down there? Like, do I get out of the car? It's raining still. He's like, yeah, man, we're just going to go down here. We got to look at the wood chipper right quick. It always gets 7 a.m. I'm 16, 17. I'm young. Thinking of mowing a lawn and going home. He goes, all right, let's go. I'm like, okay, sounds good. No rain jacket, just a long sleeve, whatever. We'll go down. In the middle of the woods, on the right of the backyard, there's a bunch of chopped up logs. And I'm talking logs, Jeff. Just big old logs. He goes, yeah, we're trimming today. We're chucking logs into this chipper. And hopefully we'll be done by 6, 7 o'clock.
Oh, that's what he said?
That's what he said. So this guy, I'm telling you, is a grizzled vet. To him, he's pumped. He's working in the rain. He loves this. There's people out there that love landscaping, that love doing this stuff. Just love it. And obviously I wasn't too thrilled. But I did it out of maybe spite. At the time, I didn't know I was being tested.
Yeah.
But I was doing it out of, fuck you. You're making me do this right now. I'll prove to you who I am and what I can do.
Back against the wall.
And there was logs I could barely lift. Piss pouring rain, mud everywhere. Hardest day of work of my life. I'm chucking logs into this wood chipper. And the wood chips are being dispersed all over like the forest. Like the forest was right next to the lawn, so the wood chips were just dispersed basically in the forest to make it look a little bit cleaner. And I'll just never forget that. Not that I almost cried, but I almost cried.
Yeah.
It's 6 o'clock at night. You've been working for almost 12 hours, 10 hours, whatever it was. You almost cry. You can barely. Your hands are so cold you can barely lift the logs.
Your second day.
Your
Joe.
second day. And this is in April, and I'm working this job till August.
It's chilly in
until
April, too.
Hockey season starts back up again. I'll never forget it to this day. But because of that day, there will never be another day of work where I work harder in my entire life. So in terms of that one day, I am not scared of any in particular piece of work that I have to do with this company ever again for the rest of my life, because it'll never beat that day. It'll never beat it. Dude. It'll never beat it.
Yeah, dude, I'm there every day right now working at this garden center, and I'd be lying if I said there wasn't times where I said, I wish it was the dead of winter right now, and I was at the BMO center managing a bunch of games.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It really makes you appreciate what you got and what you feel like you like doing compared to what you're doing out of necessity.
100%.
I'll just put it like that. It's come across my mind in the past 2 months, like, man, I wish it was just like September already and we were going. And I know you always tell me not to do that, but more just in like the actual game aspect of just, I would rather that be what I was doing day to day than what I'm currently doing. So
well, I remember Dude said it once. He's like, you can't wish these games away because they won't come back.
Yeah.
And it's very true. If you're sitting there in the third period and it's 2-2 and it's going to overtime and you're pissed off because it's Saturday night.
Yeah, and you're going to get home at 8:30 instead of 8.
Yeah. You can't be mad, because if you wish this game to go away, they just will stop coming back. So you have to embrace it. You have to sit there and you have to enjoy it, because that's what this life's about. And you know what? If you are sitting there till 8:30 and you are home 30 minutes late and you're a little pissed off, guess what? You're going to have a great night, because you just came home from some hard work, some pride that you took in your work. You're going to come home and you're going to have a good night. Maybe you'll have an extra beer. You'll put your feet up. Maybe you'll have an extra garlic finger because you earned it. It's just highs and lows, baby. Highs and lows. And if you can stay in between those highs and lows, you're good to go.
Then you're skateboarding along with Belly.
Yes. Skateboard's right there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But no, it's summer jobs are where, men and women are made. It's where I was made in the summer. I definitely wasn't made in the winter. Hockey, don't get me wrong, hockey made me who I am, but that work ethic wasn't there with hockey. I wasn't training. I wasn't doing the things that I was supposed to be doing to try to get to the NHL. The real work ethic came from those summer jobs. So I saw a lot. There was a couple kids that were working at Brunello that were fans of the show, and hopefully they're listening and just know that the work you guys are doing right now. First of all, Brunello, they're not even paying me for this.
I know, man.
It's fantastic. Like, you pull up there and the guy's there to take your bags, and sometimes some of the guys know who I am, so some guys will go like, "Hey, Mr. Belanger, like, how are you? I'll take your bag and do it here." But even if they don't know me, they'll still be like, "Hey, what time's your tea time? What's your name? I'll take your bag and put it on the cart." It's just those little things you'll pay for. You
love that stuff.
Oh
too.
my God. It's the little details.
That's what I always tell people. I'm like, whenever they ask me about these trips we go on, I'm like, one thing about Justin, he won't half-ass it, man. He likes to, you like the full experience. You're a country club guy. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, customer service is gone. You go to the airport now, you're checking yourself in. You go to the grocery store, you're pretty much checking yourself out.
Yeah.
Even go to a restaurant. I was at a restaurant the other day, and there's like robots serving you, eating sushi. Like, there's no customer service anymore. So if you want to get ahead, I think in this world of business, a little advantage will just be a little bit more of a sprinkle of customer service, because not a lot of places are too keen on customer service. If you go anywhere, it'll be hard to get service with a smile. It's tough to get service with a smile these days, because most people think they're above. People think they're above it.
And the bosses and stuff, they just don't care as much about it. Like, it's not a priority to them to be like, make sure everyone leaves with a smile. It's like, make sure everyone leaves paying. So it's up to the young guns out there working to put in that extra effort.
I always say, whenever we're training here at High Button Sports, for sure, the big thing I emphasize.
Yeah.
The big thing that I emphasize with is talking to the rink staff with a smile and saying thank you, please, things like that, because not that we're giving them a service, but just being in their territory with a smile helps situations, because sometimes you might have an extension cord that's 4 feet too short, and you need an extension cord, and you got to go to the front desk and ask for an extension cord. Sometimes you might run out of duct tape. You got to go to the Zamboni guy to get some duct tape. There's so many things in day-to-day business, especially with us, where you need to do it with a smile on your face.
Yeah, and I find that, like, with our job, it is a little intrusive. Like, we roll into our rink, and like, we got to act like we know what we're doing at that rink, because we've got to. So we're kind of treading on their territory. So you really got to go to your way to, like, be respectful, because it is their territory. It's not ours. We're guests in their domain, but we just need access to what they've got. So, and us in Boston, we're rolling into those rinks. A couple of Canadians, like, do they even run things down here the same as they do in Canada? But, it all works out in the end. It all comes out in the wash.
So it's interesting how there is, like, there is an end story to High Button Sports, but yet we don't know it. That's what keeps me. Sorry, I'm drinking a beer. I'm just burping here. It's history has already been written, but we don't know it. It's always an interesting thought in my head where High Button Sports will be in 30, 40, 50 years, whatever it may be.
Oh, I think like cool. A year.
Yeah.
I think it's just because of my age. I'm like, when I I'm year to year, but
I think I'm pretty good. A year I can see. If you're in a business and you can't see what the next year looks like, work harder. I think we know what the next year looks like.
I suppose.
We know.
I think we know it'll be successful. I just don't know exactly which avenue is going to hit at the right time to bring that success.
That's fair.
Because we've been through a lot of discussions in this past year of what this 2023-4 season will look like, and it's changed a bunch of times. We'll have full 2-hour-long discussions on how to tackle this, and then 2 weeks later another opportunity comes up and we pivot. So
that's fair.
I have confidence it's going to be good. It's just I don't know which exact avenue is going to be taking up majority of our energy as of right now.
I like that. I can respect that.
Yeah.
The US Open. I didn't really enjoy it. It's hard to go from the Canadian Open, which has some of the rowdiest fans, maybe behind Waste Management Open. Like, it's probably the second most rowdy tournament on PGA Tour. And then go to the US Open, where the Los Angeles Country Club is very... strict.
Yeah.
Like, you have to wear pants. Everything has to be tucked in, hair combed to the right. I don't know. It seemed like someone tweeted out the rules of being involved with the Los Angeles Country Club, and it was ridiculous. Apparently, the pros couldn't get a practice round in because it was members only. And even if you're a pro playing in the U.S. Open, you can't go early to get a round in.
A major too. Like this is a major. I think it's only ever been there like one other time too, or a handful. Like it's not in the regular rotation.
So anyways, the point I'm trying to make, to go from the Canadian Open and then a week later to the U.S. Open, I don't know. It was just an interesting look for the PGA Tour, which is trying to attract a younger, broader audience. It'll be interesting to see how not that that'll carry over to the Live PGA agreement, but
yeah, like it's kind of an important time for golf right now.
Yeah, for sure. Well said. All eyeballs are on golf, not just Live, not just PGA, just golf as a whole. The eyeballs, whatever golf as a whole decides to do in the next 3 to 4 months will dictate the next 20 to 30 to 40 to forever years.
Sounds similar to High Button.
Yeah, for sure. But you know what I mean? It's going to be interesting to see which way golf decides to go. If they decide to go the Happy Gilmore route, or if they decide to go the Los Angeles, the Los Angeles Country Club route.
Yeah. Keep it buttoned up or loosen this thing up and see how big. Because like, it's hard. It really is a massive sport, especially in the States. Like if you're on Twitter on a Sunday afternoon, that's all people are talking about. Like is the golf, Canadian Open, major, whatever. Like
people are addicted.
It is big, man.
But like I was at the driving range today at Brunello. There's a couple guys out there hitting balls with Boston Celtics jerseys on. It's like you don't see that 10, 15 years ago, do you? Like I only started golfing 4 years ago, so I don't. But Brunello, nice course, so it's just starting to open up to each and every single community. But on the tour, on the pro level, we have to see what they're going to be able to embrace. Are they going to embrace the rowdiness, or do they want to keep it LA Country Club? We'll see.
Yeah. Do you think you'd like going to a golf event? Like, would you go to the Canadian Open next year? Because I feel like you like that sort of, and you're enamored with golf shots. Like a lot of people who don't like going to live, it's like, okay, I like it, but could I do like 8 hours of it? But I think you're into it enough where each shot would be interesting.
I can't answer that. I've heard too many stories of people that enjoyed it and people that hated it. I just have to experience it myself. I can't answer that.
Gotta get you to an event, man.
I've heard stories of guys that have gone and they were exhausted 3 hours in because they're just walking and drinking in the sun, no shade. You're not allowed to bring like a folding chair in, so you're standing. And then I've heard guys that have went to events and they sat at the 9th hole right at the turn, and they had a chair and there was a washroom right next to them. Beer prices were low, and they said they had a fantastic time. Yeah. So let me say this, in terms of experiences, we talk about the Titanic and Mount Everest and whatever. It's an experience that I want to go through for sure. Unfortunately, the only ones that do are in Canada's Canadian Open, but I can get down to the States. Yeah, for sure.
There's definitely some like northern states that have events, like Boston or Massachusetts has them and stuff.
Yeah, but yeah, it would definitely be something I want to experience. It would be cool.
Would you go solo, or would you like go with someone else?
No, you can't go on a solo.
No, but like when you're with someone else, especially it's something like that where, like you said, it's so hit or miss. Like, what if they hate it and you're loving it?
Nah.
Then your whole weekend's like kind of weird.
I know I said this about golfing by yourself. I can't travel by myself. I gotta be with someone.
I'm gonna know. This is my first. I'm about to go to Toronto and drive up, full week there, full week back, all on my own. So I don't know. That's remained to be seen for me. But that's interesting that you're like willing to make that claim.
Yeah, I gotta bounce things off people. If I'm driving on the highway and I see like a cool cow, I gotta go, hey Jeff, look at that cow. I can't just.
But you're good at driving, man. Little secret here, little inside High Button. This guy carried on the Boston trip, so I wouldn't I'm kind of surprised to hear you can't just you wouldn't be able to rip off on your own for a weekend.
Well, I like talking, and that's what keeps me up, and that's what keeps me entertained. That's what I do for a living. I like hearing other people's ideas. That's why I do a podcast for a living. So that's what keeps me going. And when I travel and I see new things, I experience new places, I need to know how the person I'm with
Yeah.
feels about it.
You want to share it. Fair enough.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like majority of people are like that, but there's definitely some introverts out there who could crush a trip on their own and have a great time. We'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. But a golf tournament, I can't be there by myself. I got to go with someone.
Like I'm going to Quebec. I'm stopping in Quebec City for a night, and like I'm just gonna go. I'll probably leave at 7. I'll get in at 3. Maybe take a 2-hour nap. Then I'll go enjoy Old Quebec because I'm staying right next to Old Quebec, and I love that area. I'll go for a walk. I'll maybe get dinner alone, have a few drinks, maybe find a bar, head back. You know, you're not really on anyone else's schedule. That's the nicest part of it.
Yeah, that's fair. I actually got invited to a wedding. You know the restaurant we were at in Old Montreal? You, me, dudes, and Jeff.
Oh yeah.
So
yeah.
I got invited.
Troy.
Sorry, Troy. Sorry, Troy. You, me, or not you, me. I got invited to a wedding right next to it in January in Montreal.
Nice.
So hopefully there'll be like a Habs game. Hopefully it'll be like a snowy day or something, like a wedding right downtown Old Montreal. That'll be pretty sick.
That will be sick. That was a great area. It's right next to that restaurant.
It's right next to it. It's literally like, you know, like so you know when we walked down on the corner and there was like those people eating on then you know across there was like the police.
Yeah.
Remember like that little area? It's right in that building, right across from us.
Yeah. For anyone wondering, it's kind of near that giant Ferris wheel there in Old Montreal, near the water, where we're kind of talking about with the cobblestone roads, fancy restaurants, that sort of area. I'm sure people know.
So yeah, the wedding's January, and we're trying to maybe the bachelor party. Yeah, I'm not even gonna talk about that.
Is that the one that's like Ice Jam associated? That
yeah,
one?
well, the wedding's in January. But
right.
if the Ice Jam dates are the same as last year, which I think the 17th it was on, well, I'll be good because the wedding's not until the 27th of January. So I'll be good, which would be a huge reward after the Ice Jam. You know, head on right to the wedding. That'll be great.
Yeah. I'll be in East Hants that weekend.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh yeah. But yeah, we're not booking flights until we see the NHL schedule. Mm-hmm. Because we want to see if the Habs are playing. So if the Habs are playing the wedding's on a Saturday. So if the Habs play on a Thursday, you know, maybe go down on a Thursday compared to a Friday.
Definitely.
So I don't know. We'll see.
Cool.
It'll be good. It'll be a good time.
Do you have one wedding this year, or are you stacking them up like all the 30 pluses?
No,
I know.
I think I just have one. And then my wedding next year. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
It'll be a busy. Because I want to go on my bachelor party like March, April. So this wedding's in January.
Good to know.
So I'll be going on my bachelor party, 2 months after. It's going to be a busy year. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun, busy year.
Because when's your wedding? Next summer?
Next summer.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Fair enough.
Which I haven't planned anything for. I'm sure Sarah will take care of it.
Honestly, when I was walking in here today, I was like, Sarah said hi to me, and I haven't talked to her in a little bit. And I was like, wait, are they married yet?
No.
Like, no, they're not. No, they're not. We're still waiting on that. There was a moment where I was like, oh yeah, no, they're still there.
That's how busy you are. Eh?
And I've just been hearing about it for forever from you, man. So it's just like, has it been 2 years since that or no?
Jesus.
Yeah.
Time's flying. What's the time at right now?
50
minutes right now.
50
Holy
minutes,
smokes. So I'll say this before we wrap it up. Summer is here. Summer only comes around so many times in your life. If you're lucky, you live to 80 years old, you'll have 80 summers. I'm 31 summers in. And that's if you get lucky, you get to 80. Actually, no, in that interview, I said I'll be a 90-year-old man sipping out of a straw. So I'll say 90. Hopefully, I go to 90. So how many summers do I have now?
31.
No,
30?
I'm 31, so I have
30.
No, then I'd be 60. I'm not dying at 60.
Oh, I thought you meant how many of you'd had.
No, if I live to 90,
you got 60 left.
I have 60.
59, 60 left.
59 weddings left.
Weddings or summers?
What did I say?
Weddings.
Sorry, summers.
Yeah.
So I have 59 summers left. I'm going to try to take advantage of all 59 summers.
It's kind of weird when you put it like that.
I'm going to try to solve my addiction. Not really. I'm going to try to soak in the rays.
Not really.
Well, no, I like to tan. I like to be dark. And like, I live in a rink 8 months out of the year.
Yeah, but you said you don't do well in the sun.
Yeah, but I like to look dark.
Okay.
So I'm going to soak in the rays for the next 59 years. I'm going to listen to music on the back deck with friends.
What's your top song right now for the people at home? When you're like, I need to listen to music, what's my song right now?
It's called The Hillbillies by Kendrick and Baby.
I don't buy much, I buy land, bro. Cologne, Germany. Old McDonald's every time I land, bro. Big J Rocks in both hands, bro, and all that.
This is the song of the summer for Justin Blanchet.
Yeah, all
That's
that.
it.
Compton Cowboy, all that. Yeah. Big protein. 150 grams of protein. Y'all got
Big
stop
protein.
playing, bro. I swear, bro.
He gon' fuck up the world, excuse me, but is that your girl? If she tell, that's a good referral. He BGB talk crazy to me, but Kendrick know I like irregular girls. I'm not good with the regular girls. Damn near want a veteran girl. I just might change your life. We ain't wearing no Giuseppe jeans. We ain't doing none of normal things. So you know what formal means? Critics saying that I lost the plot. Principles.
Is this the natural outro or what?
I don't know what it is. I think it's a single to an album coming out.
We gon' fuck up the world, excuse me, but it's that your girl. Didn't mean to possess your girl. Baby, I'm hot.
Anyway, so that's it there.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the song of the summer, but I'm going to try to soak in these 59 summers as much as I can. And I'm going to try to appreciate them as much as I can. There's nothing wrong with sitting on a cart while your buddy looks for his ball. I'm sure you want to help him, but there's nothing wrong with sitting there and taking in the sun, taking in the fresh air, taking in that nice drive you have that's maybe sitting up 20, 15, 30 yards ahead of your friend and enjoying it and looking at it and going, you put that ball there. But maybe help your buddy out too. But what I'm trying to say here is slow down time, because the next thing you know, 59 years is going to go by like that and you're not going to have any summers left. So to everyone listening to the High Button podcast, do me one favor this summer. Over the next 3 to 4 months, take that second to yourself and embrace these summers. Take it in, enjoy it, breathe it, smell it, taste it. I was going to say burn it, like burn a fire, but maybe not right now. Don't burn anything. But make sure that you enjoy summer, because next thing you know, it's going to be over. So I'm going to leave you with that. We're rolling into the weekend right now. I want everyone to work hard. I want everyone to have fun. I want everyone to set a good example for these kids right now working summer jobs, building character. And at the end of the day, I don't know what else I was going to say. At the end of the day, just roll with it.
At the end of the day, we out.
Yeah, at the end of the day, just skateboard right down the road. Even keel. All right, we're out. Peace.